Hey everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here, and I'm going to talk about DC's Rebirth event, which will be coming out this summer. Last night, a video was posted of Jeff Johns, DC's Chief Creative Officer, talking about giving us some information or general idea about the DC's Rebirth event, which is going to be coming out in the summer. It's going to take place after May, which will have all the current DC titles, most of them ending with issue number 52. The way Jeff Johns described the event was he did make the comparison to Green Lantern Rebirth and Flash Rebirth, two amazing series, which I love, by the way, explaining that this is sort of the same concept in that they are going to try to restore some familiar elements, which GL and Flash Rebirth sort of did, while also setting the way to move forward and tell new stories, stories in a sense. So it's not so much. So it doesn't really seem like so. And also the tagline for Rebirth has been, "It's not a reboot. It's not a reboot," but it does kind of feel like I don't think they're going to completely ignore continuity, but we could be looking at a scenario where all the things happened. Maybe some minor things will be retconned, and they will be trying to maybe make the new 52 seem a bit more like the old 52 in a sense. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure about that, but he did pretty much talk about the Rebirth event and how it's going to be handled, and how there will be a one-shot at the end of May that will show an 80-page one-shot at the end of May that will that he's currently writing, that will explain what they'll pretty much guide everyone into the event coming out. Right, and also the video message ended with a teaser of the Rebirth curtain image, which when DC launched the teaser for it was a blue curtain that said Rebirth on it, and we got the same image, but this time behind the curtain there were 6 silhouettes of characters, presumably from left to right, Superboy, a figure that looks like the Jay Garrick Flash with the helmet, a hooded figure who might be Green Arrow, another Flash who does look a little thinner than, I would say, Barry Allen, possibly Wally West, a female Green Lantern, and on the far right, Supergirl. Okay. Also, after the video was posted, articles were posted about giving us more details about the event, saying that now all the titles in the DC universe will be relaunched and start back at number 1, except, and here's the part that I found really interesting, except Action Comics and Detective Comics will resume their original numbering from before the new 52. So basically when Rebirth starts, we will have a bunch of new number 1s, but Action Comics will be at issue number 957, and Detective Comics will be at issue 934. So good news, we'll have, in a few years, we'll probably have Action Comics and Detective Comics, issues 1000. Awesome. Also, some DC titles will be shifting to a twice-a-month schedule. So some titles will be released 2 issues a month. But the good news is that now apparently DC is trying to get back to is trying to reduce their prices from $3.99 an issue to $2.99 an issue. So that's a good idea. A few years ago they did try this. I remember they had an ad called "Holding the Line" at $2.99, and it worked for a while. Now though, I'm not too sure about that because, well, first of all, I think it's good that they are reducing the price of their comics from $3.99 to $2.99. I think that's good. However, there are going to be some really popular books that are going to be out twice a month, and I feel like because of that, I'm not going to get as much DC Comics as I usually do. Because it really doesn't feel. Yeah, you're getting 2 issues, but it doesn't really feel that different from paying $4 a month for 1 issue. Okay. Also, prior to the actual number 1s for the ongoing titles, there will be several Rebirth one-shots released either before or maybe possibly during the week before the actual title. For example, in June there will be about 8 Rebirth specials, all titled for certain characters and franchises: Aquaman Rebirth, Batman Rebirth, Flash Rebirth, Green Arrow Rebirth, Green Lanterns Rebirth, Superman Rebirth, Titans Rebirth, and Wonder Woman Rebirth. And it's kind of like that for the continuing months. In July, we have Batgirl and the Birds of Prey Rebirth. Basically, every title that is going to come out that month is going to have like a Rebirth one-shot leading up to it. I think it just depends on if they are going to be at least $2.90. If those are going to be $2.99, I would say that those might be a good idea. I think that might help a lot if it's a skip. So far, we just know the names of the titles that are going to be out. We don't know anything. We don't really know who's going to be on them or what the covers are going to look like yet. So, DC has said that all that information will be apparently revealed at WonderCon later this month, later in March. So that'll be good. So I think once everyone knows who the creative teams are and who's going to be working on what book, that'll be a lot easier for fans to plan their pull lists. But back to the Rebirth specials, I think this might be a good idea. I mean, I don't know if those will be $2.99. They might be, but I think having the one shots before the actual number ones is a good idea, because if it's a series that you're unsure about, you can at least get the Rebirth special, read it, and if it seems something you're interested in, you can continue to get it. Or if it's not, then you can just not get the series. So that might work. So yeah, that's really all I have right now in terms of notes. I did look at the list of titles, though. I did highlight some stuff about what I might get, but I mostly just highlighted Rebirth specials. And to be honest, the only book that I think I'm really genuinely excited for before knowing its creative team, like the one book that I looked at the list and I'm like, I'm definitely adding this, is Nightwing. Yeah. So yeah, obviously that's going to be a bit. So yeah, Nightwing's on there. So hopefully it will be Dick Grayson in that title. I mean, I didn't see Grayson on the list, but I really do. But if it is Dick Grayson Nightwing, I will definitely be adding that to my pull list. As far as Superman and Batman, though, I'm probably going to have at least one title from them, depending on who's writing what book. I did hear that there was a rumor that I know Scott Snyder is going to be leaving Batman after issue 51, and that he might be taking over Detective Comics. If that's the case, then I will probably get Detective Comics if Scott Snyder's going to write it. But yeah, that's all we know so far. What do you guys think of the Rebirth announcement? Do you have any feelings how you feel about it? Has your opinion been swayed from when you initially heard about Rebirth? Me, I'm still I'm on the fence about it, mainly because I don't know who is going to be writing the books. That's the only reason. But in terms of the overall event, I think right now DC is kind of handling it well. They're giving everyone just kind of a general idea, letting us know that this isn't going to be another like the New 52 was, where we relaunched and redid all the entire continuity. It just seems more like a continuous renumbering, sort of like what Marvel is. It feels a lot like Marvel now, or rather all new Marvel now, when they basically just relaunched everything and started over at number one and stuff. So yeah, that's it for me. So that's really all I have to say about it so far. I'll probably make another video following this one up, talking about whether or not I have a definite list. Once I hear the creative teams, I'll definitely do that. So yeah, thanks again for watching. I'm Spider-Man1991 saying see you later. And if you're subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you're not, check out my other videos, and if you like them, please subscribe. Sorry to kind of rail off there in the outro. Anyways, thanks for watching. Later.